Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. So, everybody knows, anybody who's been paying attention to the channel knows my love for ADV Tactical. Their designs are off the charts, just always working. Fantastic blades. This one I was just literally carrying. The Badlands buoy, and I always keep my pit boss around. And I actually carried that a couple days ago. This one I carry all the time. I even threw an Ulti clip on there just so I can carry it with anything I'm wearing. I love ADV Tactical knives. I just really do. And these are all bought. None of these ADV Tactical knives were donations to the channel. I love these knives so much that I was willing to buy these knives. So I'm a big fan of the designer, Andre DeVillis, and he's such a nice guy. Got to meet him at Blade Show. Everybody who was there who got to meet him or knew him all said the same things about him. He's just a quality human being. So it made me really appreciate his pieces even more after I met him, because it was like, wow, the guy really matches the product. You know what I mean? Super great. But now I have this one. This thing is awesome. So this is the K9. This one is in D2. He does have one, I think, in one of the Carpenter steels, I do believe. It may be something else. They come with different handle materials. You can get like the jade. You can get black. I think he does like all the cool, like rainbowy looking titaniums. He can do pretty much anything. I mean, the guy literally does about anything. When I wrote him and asked him what he had, because I reached out to him personally, when you go onto his site, ADV Tactical, a little box will come up and it says chat with ADV Tactical. And you can order a knife through that little chat. Otherwise, you can go through one of his dealers, things like that. I personally just reach out to him on Facebook and private message him and ask him what he has in a certain thing. And then he shows me, and voila, I get one. So he had one of these in-house in tan, and he had one in black, and I said, I really want that tan. And it's just beautiful piece. So like always, the sheaths are very well done. You do have the ambidextrous belt clip. It's got the little you see these little slots right here. That's for, see that little pin and that little pin, those can be moved for different belt sizes. Awesome. This whole thing can come on and off the belt without having to take on and off the belt, which is most excellent. It's just easy done. It's got a nice hard clip. Really well done. Lots of lashing points for different things, or cordage, anything like that. But it's all about the business, baby. So let's go into the specs. We have a blade length of 3 3/4 inches. We have cutting edges of 4 inches and 3 inches respectively. We have a handle length of 4 inches, which is made bigger by using the finger choil, or the finger hole, I should say. The overall length is 8.125 inches. This is a D2 steel. This is the one I wanted. The blade thickness is 1.57 inches. The blade style is a sawback trailing point, and it is freaking gorgeous. The blade grind is flat, my favorite. The blade finish is black Cerakote. It is micarta in the scales. The handle thickness is 0.71 inches. With the Tech Lock Kydex sheath designed by Andre DeVillis himself. And just, again, another great job. Now, his knives always come sharp. Let's see. I know I have some hair on that arm. Well, I did. I mean, just always come sharp. I just had a little bit of hair on my arm, but shave sharp. I mean, out of the box, shave sharp. So he calls this the K9 because it's like a canine tooth, and it really is. You have this nasty serration on the top, like kind of like some dinosaur tooths, where they're canines, because the K9 is this and this. their canines actually had like natural serrations on them, making them just devastating biters, right? Some sharks actually have that. They have serrations on their teeth, and it is nasty. So we're not going to sit in here and do a whole lot of talking, even though I would love to discuss the just absolute comfortability and able to hold and use this knife from multi-directions, because this little bump right here, it doesn't, you can't tell by looking at it, but the hand goes like this, bump, bump, right? You got like a V right here. It is perfect. It is perfect. It does have a little bit of jimping before the saw for that great little thumb rest. Contoured perfectly. Let's go outside. All right, so we did have a couple days of sunshine, but we're back to the rain shine, but it's still enough to give this thing a really, really nice peekaboo in the daylight. The texturing is just perfect. Man, that girl pretty. And the blade shape is just sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So now this thing is obviously a utility work knife. This is something that you carry with you for all your cutting needs, especially you guys who work in like warehouses and things like that, where you need to constantly cut things. But it's so multi-purposeful because of the little saw back and the very aggressive sweep, which makes it a slashing blade, but it's good for just cutting, and more cutting. So let's do some 4-foot gravity drops, and we'll see the bite in that tip. Boop. Even on a trailing tip, it comes down nice and straight. Boop. And gives that tip a nice little dig in, couple hard downward throws. Bam. That is solid. That gets in there. Bam. That is solid. All right, so here is the line, so you can see how far it went in. Not so bad. As a matter of fact, that's pretty great. So let's try a push cut. And me with giant hands, I almost grabbed onto the serrations. So they do have a nice landing point for jimping. I have to remember that, because with big hands, I tend to wander, and that is not something, oops, I missed, something you want to do is wander. So it's just really, really nice. Double push cut. It just goes. I wonder, I don't know if we can do that on this because of the curve, but yes, we can. The saw action is wonderful. We got this nylon infused fuel hose, and what I want to try to do is start from the trailing point tip and just work it through just like that, kind of going around exactly how it's designed to cut. And look at that, man. Look at that. It's just making little tiny rubbers, little tiny rubber pieces. It's a cutter. It's what it is. It's your grab it and cut things knife, but it just does so much more. Let's see, use these teeth. I mean, not only are they going to be great for notching, but just straight up cutting. It's literally just going right through, and I'll show you. What I'm doing is I'm spinning the stick to make a nice cut, and so I don't bump the curved point into the log. But beautiful. Can you saw with it? Absolutely. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't have enough to whack on it with. Here we go. Here we go. Little kindling maker. Little kindling maker right there. Just chopping pieces away. This thing's, the stick is the worst stick in the world, but there we go. And it doesn't help that I'm batoning with that. So, I don't know, man. This thing is super comfortable. Even wet, dirty, gross hands, no problem. It's just gonna be a worker. It's just gonna be a worker. Let's take it over and go through some plastic netting and see how that does over there. I have to say, I got white sleeves on and I'm muddy. This is really freaking nice. This is really nice. It's hard for me to find a knife with serrations that I like because I'm not big on serrations, but many of them come on the blade. I want my plain edge. If you're going to throw serrations, do it up here. That's what I love about the K-Bar Big Brother. They put the serrations on the top, and I like that. All right, so let's go through here. That was nice once I got the tip in there because it's obviously a trailing point, so it's pointing in the opposite direction. It went right through. Look at that. Look at that. I wonder if I can go reverse. I don't know. With the serrations. Ooh, that's going to be hard doing it on the serrations because this plastic netting is not made for cutting. But once you start cutting, it's going to cut. It's going to cut. It's not made for sawing, though. No doubt about it. I got to be careful because I don't want to get my hand with the saw. There we go. There we go. That's pretty tough on that angle. That's pretty tough on that angle, but once again, just cuts right through. No damage to the actual edge. It's just a beauty. I'm filthy over here. I am filthy, man. Filthy. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. It's just nice. So if you're looking for a cutter, like an all day, take it out of your pocket and cut type cutter, but you also are a survivalist or you like to get out into the woods and do things, you know that this is going to be a really, really nice feather sticker because of the way it's shaped. And you might be able to, everything's wet, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but we might be able to get some little pieces with the saw action by going back and forth. Let's see. Oh yeah, even on the wet wood. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to show you up close because I know it's hard for you to see, but this is how you make some really lightable stuff, especially with wet wood. Getting all this little dry stuff underneath. Look at this. See all that? That's just from dragging that a few times. So now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to come backwards. And look at this. Look at this, man. Swoops, curls, whatever I want to do just by changing the angle of the blade. Because the blade rounds off, makes it so much easier. So much easier. So depending on what part of the blade I use, depends on what kind of, that's all pages of a book right there. They're all really tight together. It really changes what you want to do. Look at this. Some nice swoops right there. Look at that. Look at that. This thing is just so nice. I mean, this is one of those makes living easy type knives. And I do like that. Not a chopper, but look at that chop. Look at that. Oh, look at this. This is where it's going to excel. Right here. This is where it's going to excel. Letting that trailing point do its job, starting from one end and then working all the way to the tip. Man, that is so nice. So nice. Let's see here. Yeah, that's so nice. I'm telling you, man, this thing is just sharp. I just proved it by poking myself in the finger. It's just sharp. The leather stands no chance. It just goes right through. It's just breezing. I did poke myself in the finger. But I'll tell you, this knife is a cutter, man. This thing is a work knife all day long. I mean, shoot, man, if you work in a textile plant, you can even cut your textiles. I don't know who works in a textile plant anymore, but holy Moses. It's just nice, man. It's just a nice EDC. I'm using it right now for things I wouldn't use it for in the real world because it literally is your EDC cutter. It's that thing you take out and you cut with, or if I have to, need to saw things with. That's what this knife is. This isn't your every other use knife. This is your EDC cut stuff with it knife. And this is going to cut. This is going to cut all day long, and not only is it cut all day long, but it's going to be crazy comfortable in the hand while you're doing it. That's probably one of my favorite things about this knife, is just how it excels in comfort. It just feels really, really good. I gotta say, I'm digging that. I am digging that. So this was a happy buy. Poked a little tiny poke of my finger from touching the tip. Man, that's all you got to do is touch the tip. That's how freaking sharp that little spot is right there. I got right there, and I got right there. Look at that. Just from doing little taps. I advise you not to do that because he makes sharp knives. This thing is just nice. I mean, look at this. It cutting, batoning, doing everything with it, and the thing is still a razor. I mean, it's not going to dull very fast on you. I'll tell you that. Andre de Villers knows what he's doing. This thing is phenomenal. Another great buy from the great ADV Tactical. I can't say enough good things about the whole company. Everybody there is great. It's fantastic. This knife is so nice, man. This knife is so nice, man. Even in transition, the pinky goes right in. It's just nice. It's literally like, bam, I turn my hand and my pinky's already in the hole. That's fantastic. It's just placed perfectly. It's placed exactly across from where your pinky goes here. So when you turn it, even slow motion, see that? Your pinky just wants to go right through as soon as you grab. That's one of those little things that people wouldn't think about when it comes down to design, is how this lines up with the end. And it lines up perfect. So when you switch your hand around, it's just a natural in. I like that. So anyway, the K9 from ADV Tactical. This thing is sweet. This will bite somebody. And wound channeling. Holy Moses. If Bigfoot robs you at an ATM, sorry, Sasquatch. That thing is not going to be fun right there. I'll tell you that. Penetration is going to work. Coming out, ooh, man, that's going to be nasty. All right, so that's it for this one. I love it. What a great buy. This is Donnie B all day, or I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.